You're listening to the Fitzy and Whipper podcast.
We absolutely adore this man. I'm holding up his brand new book too, which I reckon is a perfect coffee table book for anybody. It's got a beautiful photo of Cathy Freeman after she won the 400 at the 2000 Sydney Olympics. Greatest moments in Australian sport. Put your hands together. The beautiful Mark Beretta. Morning, Barretts.
Morning, guys. Good to see you.
Is that your actual signature on the book there, Barretts? Can we take that down to the bank?
Yeah. You can whack that on a cheque anywhere you like. And good luck with that, Whipper.
Your whole life has revolved around sport, Barretts. It's been unbelievable. And you know what? A majority of the time you have been there with your work. Which, I mean, unbelievably blessed to be in, to have that opportunity to go to some of the biggest sporting events around the world.
I think kissed on the arse, they call it.
Thanks, Barretts.
I have been incredibly lucky. And I thought when I joined Seven in 95, and just after I joined, they signed the Olympic Games from Atlanta in 96 through to Beijing in 2008. And I sort of went, I've come to the right place. This is really good.
Without a doubt.
And I've been to now, 13 summer and winter Olympic Games, which I thought if I could get to one, one is a blessing.
Never been to one.
You need to go, Whipper. It's great. And the Olympics needs you.
I would have thought so.
In what way does it need,
No, you don't need an answer. You just leave it out there.
Just accept it.
Barretts, how many times have you had to choose between family and sport? I reckon this would always be tricky.
Woohoo.
Yeah, I have a very understanding wife.
Do you?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
as she said, we're going away, or we've got this planned.
Yeah, yep.
Sorry, honey, I've got a V8 event.
Kids concert, anything like that.
course.
Yeah, no, sorry, we've got the Cats are in the grand final, got to go.
So you've had those moments?
Oh, absolutely. It's and the especially the trips when you're away for a while. Like things like Birmingham Com Games was sort of 3 or 4 weeks this year.
Yeah.
And then Tokyo, we had lockdown for 2 weeks once we got home, so that became a 5-week trip. So
As a sporting fan, I think the number one thing is that you want to be at an event that no one else has been at before or been to before and watched an Australian team do really, really well. What's the biggest underdog story that you've been at, Barretts, that you've watched and you've just got chills and gone, I can't believe I'm here?
It still has to be Stephen Bradbury. Salt Lake City 2002.
So you were there?
Yeah, we were there that night.
But the moment being in the stands when you went, hang on a minute, one down, what? No, wait, this can't happen. That would have been so good to see.
It was unbelievable. It was, it was really special. I was in the stand the night that Cathy won in 2000. I was actually a change of roster at work, and I was actually anchoring the telecast at the studio out at the IBC.
Yeah.
So I sat there that night and threw to Bruce out at the stadium, and that night was a piece of history. And to be there for some of those special moments, actually be there and share it with people is pretty special.
We've had that young and up and coming commentator on before, Bruce McAvaney, he says when you talk about that one moment, it's the Cathy Freeman moment.
Yeah.
And if you look at the front of the book there, do you know when that moment was? Was that her standing on the blocks before, just looking up at the sky there?
It's the after. It's almost
the after.
and you can see the relief. Yeah, I think it's magnificent.
Right.
Remember that she dropped to the ground for about 10 minutes after that run, and I don't think we've never seen an Australian athlete compete under that much pressure on home soil, and that's why for me that stood out as the moment.
I've got about 5 pages to go in the book because I've been going through it trying to find the big part, and still I can't see anywhere where it mentions Ryan Fitzgerald kicking 5 on debut.
No, it is chapter 18. Chapter 18.
Right at the end, is it?
We count down to the big ones.
It's like a B-side.
I sat down with Barretts for about 3 weeks for an interview. There's only 1 page of it in there, which is weird.
It kind of looks stuck in that coffee you've got, doesn't it?
I sent you about 48 photos, Barretts. I can't see them in there. I don't know where they are.
Book number 2.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sarah. Volume 2.
Number 2.
Fitzy's greatest
funny,
moments
Sarah.
in Australian sport.
Some huge highlights in your career, and then it comes crashing down when you have to do headline off against Matt De Groot.
That's not accurate.
This is a peak, Matt.
I appreciate that, Mark.
All right, it's the headline off. I'll give you a topical story, and you've got to give us your best headline. We'll do that next.
Mark Beretta's in. It's the headline off.
Well, Matt De Groot's job is to read out headlines. He's not that great at it, but gets it right sometimes. Pew, 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 pew. And Mark Beretta starts to rip out his spine. Well, metaphorically, with some headlines.
All right, here we go. Topical story, give us your best headline. Matty De Groot, you can go first just to show Barretts how to do it. Here we go. Virus makes woman think that she's living in the 1970s. A new virus that makes a woman think that she's living in the 70s. Best headline.
If you're back in the 70s, can you jump on your bike and stop John and Christine the night they made Mike?
Oh,
Awesome. That is so good. That is going to be fun.
Around New Year's Eve, 78.
Wow. She was riding a bike at the time.
No.
Without a seat on her.
She was the bike. She
Certainly
was
not the town bicycle. That's my mother you're referring to, Sarah. That's not funny at all.
MD.
And not very safe.
All right, Brett's best headline. Here we go.
Sexist jokes and awkward faux pas. It's not the 70s, it's Fitzy and Whipper's podcast.
Good return.
That is good. I think I'm going to go with De Groot on this.
That's the first one.
All right,
nervous now.
MDG.
Come on, Brett. Here we go. Claw your way back, mate. Second story. 2 South Korean miners rescued after being trapped underground for 9 days say that they lived on instant coffee. There's a lot in that. Best headline, Brett.
Sipping coffee underground while you just shout, surely the miners could have used a piccolo to get out.
Clever.
Interesting. I can see exactly what you've done there.
Highbrow coffee
get it.
gag.
I
I
definitely
didn't see
get
it
it.
coming.
You better be good here, MDG. Best headline.
When Moccona blend is life, you know you're in strife. If it's not an extra hot, strong oat milk flat white in a cup, not a mug, then I'd rather never see daylight.
There's too much. There was way too much going on.
I didn't understand that.
I get it.
No.
Again, what was it?
Being the fussy idiot that orders something annoying
Yeah, thank you, mate.
at a coffee.
Smart, funny.
Thank you.
I've always said that about you. You operate on a high level.
Brett's gets
Brett gets that one. All right, we're going to a tie
No, you
break.
get that.
MDG, you're going first here. Twitter has asked dozens of fired staff to come back, and the $8 blue tick verification program has been postponed. Your best Twitter headline, go.
The answer is simple. If HR is a mess, just do what we did here and rebrand it PX.
Okay, I mean, it's internal and you're probably going to get fired, but that was...
That's an in-joke. It's the people experience team
Right.
compared to HR.
Very different.
Yep.
Very different
Come on,
organisation.
Brett, you got this. Bring it home,
Here we go.
Brett.
Eccentric billionaire buying something he doesn't need. Sounds like Whipper lining up for another two-piece feed.
Open
I
goal.
wish.
That is a pretty easy victory. Brett!
Mate, it's a great Christmas present. If you're out there, Mark Beretta's greatest moments in Australian sport, any good bookstore, it is brilliant. Well done, Beretta.
Thanks, guys. Good to see you.
Thank you, buddy.
You're listening to the Fitzy and Whipper podcast.